You may not have considered the 5PM by case manufacturer Meanit for your latest build, but by the time you watch this video, you may wish you had. The 5PM comes from the same OEM as the Rosewool Colonnon and the Anades AI Crystal. However, Meanit has tweaked the design a bit to make it their own. The case features tinted tempered glass on both sides with an acrylic front panel. The glass is 5mm thick and sports a fairly significant tint, although as we'll see in a minute, the included lighting is bright enough to shine right through. The sides are held on by 4 thumb screws mounted to rubber dampening posts. The front panel is rimmed with a narrow airflow channel that aesthetically comes off as a huge win for Meanit when compared to the other manufacturers of this case, but does look like it might choke off some airflow versus a more open design. The front comes off with a tug, giving you a great look at the included fans. I opted for the Arco version in blue, but the 5PM is also available with a different LED design and also with either red or black fans. With the front panel removed, we can see that the Arco fans are actually secured to 3 separate mounting plates for a little more convenience during install. If you're not planning on using the included fans or want to step up to 140mm versions, you'll need to remove the plates from the chassis. This will give you room for up to a 360mm radiator up front. You also have the option of a 360 at the top of the case, but be aware that clearance issues will not allow you to have a 360 at the front and on top at the same time. You can see that this area is nicely filtered with a magnetic mesh. Also up top we have a fairly robust I/O area. Although I'd like to see manufacturers move towards including a Type-C port on mid to high-end cases, having 4 total USB connections at your fingertips is a welcome sight. You also get standard headphone and mic jacks along with power and reset switches, and 3 buttons that link up to the included PWM fan hub behind the motherboard tray and let you control fan speed on the fly. Underneath the 5PM, 4 plastic feet keep the bottom of the case elevated a full 1 inch off the ground. Although this isn't the absolute most ground clearance I've ever seen, it should be more than adequate to encourage proper airflow and reduce dust bunnies, especially with the help of the included lower dust filter, which slides out from under the PSU mounting area. Keeping focus on the rear panel, we could see that Meanit has included a 4th 120mm Arco fan here, and there are mounts for a 140 if you want to go that route. Taking a look at the interior, Meanit has stuck with a clean layout and included pre-installed standoffs for ATX motherboards. There are plenty of cable cutouts along the top, although I would have liked to see them grommeted on a $130 case. To the right of the tray you can see this plastic shroud, which pulls double duty as both a cable bar and as a GPU support. This is a great little add-on here as it provides a very subtle way to make sure your heavy GPUs don't do the droop. At the bottom of the main chamber we see the PSU shroud, which runs almost its entire length but stops short to allow for large radiator installs at the front. On the top you can see a grommeted cable cutout for PCIe wiring and also an included pump bracket, indicating that Meanit had custom water coolers in mind when designing this chassis. Flipping around behind the tray we see 3 SSD sleds mounted with thumb screws, as well as a hard drive cage down below. The cage can only support 2 3.5-inch drives, but in 2017 that's usually more than enough. Meanit has punched out a crazy number of cable tie-down points in all locations around the back, meaning that cable routing should be manageable despite the narrower than normal amount of depth. I would certainly recommend running as much of your wiring as possible through the deeper cable channel towards the front of the case, and only branching out when necessary. You might also need to invest in a PSU with flat cables to help you out, especially if cable management is not your forte. Taking a look at this case all lit up, we can see why tempered glass and clear acrylic were necessary. I absolutely love the look of these Arco fans, although I do wish they were available in colors other than blue or red. Meanit has put together a very appealing package with the 5PM, hitting many key features a modern flagship case should have, but at a reasonable $120 to $130. The biggest swing and a miss here is the depth behind the tray, but if you think your cable management skills are up to the challenge, the 5PM is a great reward. As always guys, get subscribed to the channel if you're not already, hit that like button and consider supporting what I do here by checking out my merch store on the website, linked down below. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.